So right now I'm measuring the length of his wing, what's called wing chord.
Field biologist Jake Shorty is partnering with the California-based Institute for Bird Populations. He is on contract with the local Department of Fish and Wildlife.
Traditionally, the Institute for Bird Populations has been coming out here and doing that mostly in the dry season, basically from November into July-ish. And now they're interested in checking things out in the wet season. So this is the first field season that's during this time of year. And the big thing that they want to look at is to see how birds do across this season. Are they still reproducing? Is their survivorship as high?
Jake and another field biologist, Trisha Thorne, are part of a project called Tropical Monitoring of Avian Productivity and Survivorship. They have set locations for nets like these.
Once the net catches them, they kind of tumble down into this little pocket here.
It's a safe method of catching the birds, according to Jake. Once they catch them, then they band them to keep track of the birds. This is a golden white-eye.
There are strict rules with banding birds that the band has to weigh only a certain percent of the bird's body weight so it doesn't impede its ability to fly or anything like that.
The band will stay on for life, but it's safe for the birds, according to the biologists.
Yep, just clamp it shut. The pliers are shaped so that you can't over clamp it.
And will be easy for future biologists to recognize, according to Jake.
So this is how we identify a bird once we've caught it for the first time. It has its own individual little serial number there. And basically anytime we're recording information about it, we put this down. So if we catch it over multiple years, we can sort of see what's going on with the bird, and we can trace things over time, like how it's done, if it's gained weight, if it's been healthy, if it's had eggs.
Once a bird is banded, the measurements begin.
Did you start a new recap sheet or should I?
Wait, we're gonna need to start a new recap sheet.
The biologists measure the wings, bills, and even fat stores.
It's not like bulging or anything like that, but you can definitely see some of the fat. Sort of, I'll try to show you. It's a little bit pinker than the muscle around it. Up in there. Down there as well.
They also check out the bird's head with an interesting method.
And what I'm seeing, which it'd be impossible to show on the camera, is that top layer is all ossified, it's all formed up, which is something you'd kind of expect.
It's not formed versus formed?
When it's not formed, it's a lot more pink because you can only see the lower layers of the skull, and sometimes while it's forming, you can see small pieces of the skull coming in. But this is pretty much all white up there. It's probably a complete skull.
Jake and Trisha also weigh the birds. For large ones like the collared kingfisher, they use an instrument similar to a small luggage scale.
She weighs 50, 60, 70, 80, 84 grams.
Now the time comes to release the birds back. I got a chance to hold a golden white-eye before I let her fly off. Trisha released the colored kingfisher.
Yes.
Yes? All right, here she goes.
Working in the rain has its challenges, according to Jake. It started pouring during our visit, and he had to go close nets. Jake and Trisha caught about 15 to 20 birds a day in the Asmatweets location we visited. Other locations are busier.
John, it was a little bit busier. We caught a little bit different kinds of birds, mostly rufous fantails. And we caught about 35 birds a day.
For all the birds the field biologists have caught here and in the States, Trisha had an interesting answer when asked about the prettiest bird she's caught, a turkey vulture.
Everyone thinks they're hideous, but I love them. But I've also caught vireos, prothonotary warbler is very pretty. It actually looks kind of like the golden white-eye.
For Jake, a bird in the States caught his eye.
It's a bird back in the U.S. called the lazuli bunting.
Oh, that is a good one.
It's a finch, and it's got the males have a brilliant blue head and then bright orange on the breast. They're really colorful. They're gorgeous.
Jake and Trisha leave this month, and the next group comes in March.